Hello friends, today we will discuss about simple harmonic oscillator. Simple harmonic oscillator plays a vital role in physics because this problem can be solved by classical mechanics as well as quantum mechanics. We will discuss both methods one by one. Simple harmonic motion. A motion which repeats itself after a fixed interval of time is known as simple harmonic motion. It means there is a fixed time after which it repeats its position. The time after which the motion is repeated is known as time period and it is represented by capital T. The number of oscillations per second performed by the particle is known as its frequency, and the maximum displacement from mean position is its amplitude. Here we have a simple pendulum. It is a string and a bob is attached to this string. Here we have a fixed support. Now, if we extend it here to here and then release it, then it will start to oscillate about this position, and this position is actually the mean position of the particle. It means the particle will oscillate in this range. So this is the position up to which we extend it. This is the way in which it oscillates. These positions are known as extreme position and this is mean position about which the particle oscillates. If x is the displacement of the particle at any instant, then restoring force on particle F is directly proportional to x. If we eliminate this proportionality sign, then there will be an equal to sign and a constant of proportionality. Here we use constant of proportionality k. So F equals to minus kx. Negative sign shows that this force is always acting towards the mean position. K is known as force constant or spring constant. Now, solution of simple harmonic oscillator. As we already mentioned that there is two ways to solve simple harmonic oscillator. One is classical method and another one is quantum mechanical method. Now we will discuss about classical method. Now, according to Newton's law, the force acting on a particle of mass m is given by F equal to ma. Here a is equal to d2x upon dt2 and it is the acceleration acting on the particle. If we substitute the value of a from here to here, then F is equal to m d2x upon dt2. Now F equal to minus kx and F equal to m d2x by dt2. So if we substitute the value of F from here to here, then m d2x by dt2 is equal to minus kx, or this will be d2x upon dt2 plus k by m into x equals to 0. Or this will be d2x upon dt2 plus omega naught square x is equal to 0. Here omega naught is equal to root k by m and it is known as angular velocity of particle. And this equation is known as equation of simple harmonic motion. The time period of this motion t is equal to 2 pi upon omega naught, and if we substitute the value of omega naught from here to here, then this will be 2 pi root of m upon k. Frequency. Since frequency is the reciprocal of time period, so nu is equal to 1 upon t, and since t is equal to 2 pi root m by k, so nu is equal to 1 upon 2 pi root of k by m. Now let the solution of equation of simple harmonic motion, that is the solution of this equation, x is equal to a sine omega naught t. We can also assume its solution x is equal to a cos omega naught t. Since this is simple harmonic motion and sine and cosine functions are harmonic function, so its solution will be either sine or cosine wave. Now potential energy. Potential energy U is equal to minus integration 0 to x f dx, but f equal to minus kx. So if we substitute f from here to here, then negative sign will be cancelled out, and hence it will be integration 0 to x kx dx. And since the integration of x is x square by 2, so the potential energy will be half kx square. Here potential energy is represented by U. Now kinetic energy at displacement x. Since kinetic energy k is equal to half mv square and v is equal to dx by dt, that is rate of change of position is known as velocity. So v is equal to dx by dt, and hence k is equal to half m dx by dt whole square. But x is equal to a sine omega naught t, so its differential will be a omega naught cos omega naught t. So we substitute the differentiation of this from here to here. Then k is equal to half m omega naught square a square cos square omega naught t, or this will be half m omega naught square a square, and in bracket cos square omega t. Since x is equal to a sine omega naught t, and hence sine omega naught t is equal to x by a, and cos omega naught t will be root of 1 minus x square by a square. So the value of cos square omega naught t will be 1 minus x square upon a square, and hence k is equal to half m omega naught square a square, and in bracket 1 minus x upon a whole square. But k is equal to m omega naught square. So if we substitute k from here to here, then kinetic energy is equal to half ka square, and in bracket 1 minus x upon a whole square. Or this will be a square minus x square upon a square, and a square will be cancelled out. So the value of kinetic energy will be half k a square minus x square. Now total energy of the oscillator. If there is no dissipation, then the total energy of the oscillator will be the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy. Hence the total energy of the oscillator will be E is equal to U plus K. Here U is equal to half kx square, and kinetic energy is half k a square minus x square. So half k x square and half k x square will be cancelled out, and hence the total energy E is equal to half k a square. Since a small k is constant and half is always constant, so E is directly proportional to a square. It means the total energy of the oscillator will be always constant, and it will be proportional to the square of the amplitude of the particle. Now conclusion. Since E is directly proportional to a square, also the amplitude of particle executing simple harmonic motion can have all the possible values. It means the value of A can be anything. So this oscillator can have all possible values of energy, because A can have any value and E is directly proportional to A square. So all the possible values of energy can be possible. Since kinetic energy of particle is half k a square minus x square. Now outside the limit means outside the range of plus minus a, the value of k will be negative, because if x is greater than plus minus a, then capital K will be negative, and hence the kinetic energy will be negative. It means outside the limit x is equal to plus minus a, k is negative, which is not possible. So classically the probability of finding the particle outside the limit is 0. So we can say that the particle can oscillate only within the limit. Now, position x is equal to a sine omega naught t, and the differential of position provide us the velocity. So v is equal to v naught cos omega naught t. Here v naught is the maximum value of velocity. So the velocity of particle is maximum at mean position and minimum or 0 at extreme position. It means the probability of finding the particle is minimum at mean position and it is maximum at the extreme position. Now position x is equal to a sine omega naught t, and we want to plot a graph between position and omega naught t. So these are the values of omega naught t. When we put omega naught t equals to 0 here, then sine omega naught t will be 0. It means the position will be 0. And when omega naught t is equal to pi, then again x is equal to 0. But when omega naught t is equal to pi by 2, then x is equal to maximum. So the graph between position and omega naught t is found to be like this. Now v is equal to v naught cos omega naught t, and we want to plot a graph between velocity and omega naught t. So these are the axes, and when omega naught t is 0, then cos omega naught t is equal to 1, which is the maximum value of cosine curve. So the value of v will be maximum, and when omega naught t is pi by 2, then v is equal to 0. So the graph between velocity and omega naught t is found to be like this. Now, these are the values of position. X is equal to 0 is the mean position, and x is equal to plus minus a are the extreme position. Since potential energy is half kx square, when x is equal to 0, then u is equal to 0. It means at mean position, potential energy will be minimum, that is 0. And when x is equal to plus minus a, then u is equal to half ka square. So at extreme position, potential energy will be maximum, that is half ka square. So this is the graph between potential energy and position. Now the value of kinetic energy is half k a square minus x square. When x is equal to 0, then kinetic energy will be maximum, and when x is equal to plus minus a, then kinetic energy will be minimum, that is 0. So the graph between kinetic energy and position will be this curve. Now if we add potential energy and kinetic energy, then the total energy will be half ka square, because half kx square and half kx square will be cancel out. It means the total energy does not depend on the position. So the graph for potential energy will be a straight line parallel to the position axis. So here we end our classical part of simple harmonic oscillator. Now we will discuss about its quantum part. So how we will solve the simple harmonic oscillator problem by using quantum mechanics. So quantum mechanical method, eigenfunction. The square of the magnitude of wave function or eigenfunction provide us the probability of finding the particle at particular time. Now time independent Schrodinger equation in one dimension is d2 psi by dx2 plus 2m upon h cross square e minus v into psi equals to 0. Here m is mass of particle, h cross is reduced Planck's constant, and v is potential energy. Psi represents the eigenfunction. Since in case of simple harmonic oscillator, the potential energy is given by half kx square. So if we substitute the value of v from here to here, then the equation will be d2 psi by dx2 plus 2m upon h cross square e minus half kx square psi is equal to 0. This 2 and 2 will be cancelled out. So the form of this equation will be d2 psi by dx2 minus mk by h cross square x square psi is equal to minus 2me upon h cross square psi. Now we assume that mk by h cross square is equal to alpha square and 2me by h cross square is equal to e. So the form of this equation will be d2 psi by dx2 minus alpha square x square psi is equal to minus e psi. Here the coefficient of psi appears as x square. So coefficient of psi is alpha square x square. It means the coefficient of psi appears as x square. So its solution is tedious and hence we find its asymptotic solution. Now the asymptotic solution. As x tends to infinity, x square is very much greater than e, and since our equation is d2 psi by dx2 minus alpha square x square psi is equal to minus e psi, and since x square is very much greater than e, so the form of this equation will be d2 psi by dx2 minus alpha square x square psi is equal to 0. Here we neglect the term e psi in comparison to alpha square x square psi. Let the solution of this equation is psi is equal to exponential plus minus alpha x square by 2. If we differentiate it, then d psi by dx is equal to plus minus alpha x psi, and the second differential of it will be d2 psi by dx2 is equal to plus minus alpha x d psi by dx. Since d psi by dx is equal to plus minus alpha x psi, so we substitute the value of d psi by dx from here to here, then d2 psi by dx2 is equal to alpha square x square psi, or this will be d2 psi by dx2 minus alpha square x square psi is equal to 0. Since this equation and this equation is same, it means the solution of this equation will be exponential plus minus alpha x square by 2. As x tends to infinity, the probability of finding the particle should decrease. But if we substitute psi is equal to exponential alpha x square by 2, then as x tends to infinity, psi tends to infinity, it means the probability of finding the particle will be infinitive, which is not possible. Therefore, only exponential minus alpha x square by 2 will be the physical solution of equation. It means the solution of this equation will be psi is equal to exponential minus alpha x square by 2. So this will be our physical solution. Now general solution. Let the general solution of our simple harmonic oscillator problem is psi is equal to f exponential minus alpha x square by 2. So the differential of psi is d psi by dx is equal to f exponential minus alpha x square by 2 into minus alpha x plus exponential minus alpha x square by 2 into df by dx, and second differential of psi will be this one. Now our equation is d2 psi by dx2 minus alpha square x square psi is equal to minus e psi. If we substitute the value of d2 psi by dx2 from here to here, and psi is equal to f exponential minus alpha x square by 2 from here to here, then the form of this equation will be d2f by dx2 minus 2 alpha x df by dx plus e minus alpha f is equal to 0. Now let y is equal to root alpha x and f is equal to h of y. So df by dx is equal to df by dy into dy by dx. Now dy by dx from here is root alpha. So df by dx is equal to root alpha df by dy. Now d2f by dx2 is equal to d by dx of df by dx, or this will be root alpha d2f by dy2 into dy by dx. But dy by dx from here is root alpha. So if we substitute the value of dy by dx from here to here, then d2f by dx2 will be alpha d2f by dy2. Now, if we substitute the value of d2f by dx2 from here to here, df by dx from here to here, then the form of this equation will be d2f by dy2 minus 2y df by dy plus e by alpha minus 1 f is equal to 0. Since f is equal to h of y, so df by dy is equal to dh by dy and d2f by dy2 is equal to d2h by dy2. If we substitute all these three values from here to here, then this equation will be in terms of h d2h by dy2 minus 2y dh by dy plus e by alpha minus 1 h is equal to 0. This is actually a standard Hermite differential equation, and here h is Hermite polynomial. Since the solution of equation is psi is equal to f exponential minus alpha x square by 2, so the solution of our equation is psi is equal to exponential minus alpha x square by 2 h of y. The Hermite polynomial is given by hy is equal to sigma p a p y raised to p. If we substitute the differential of h and second differential of h from here to here, then the equation which we obtain here will be satisfied only when each power of y will be 0. And hence the coefficient of AP will be AP plus 2. Here alpha is equal to root of mk by h cross square. So the wave function, which is actually the solution of simple harmonic oscillator in normalized form, will be psi nx is equal to root alpha upon 2 raised to n factorial n root pi whole power half exponential minus alpha x square by 2 h root of alpha x. And this is normalized eigenfunction of simple harmonic oscillator. Now the conclusion which we obtain from eigenfunction: outside the classical limit x is equal to plus minus a, the probability density is not 0, it is finite, whereas it is 0 according to classical mechanics. So in quantum mechanics, the probability of finding the particle outside the classical limit is not 0, it is always finite, whereas in classical mechanics it is 0. For ground state, the probability density is maximum at mean position and decreases on either side of it, whereas according to classical mechanics, it is minimum and increases on either side of it. So in classical mechanics, the probability density is minimum at mean position, whereas in quantum mechanics, the probability density is maximum at mean position. And the distribution of probability density is not uniform. Now the eigenvalue, that is the value of energy. Since d2h by dy2 minus 2y dh by dy plus e by alpha minus 1 into h is equal to 0, and psi is equal to exponential minus alpha x square by 2 hy is the solution of our simple harmonic oscillator problem. This solution will be valid only when psi tends to 0 at y tends to infinitive. But when y tends to infinitive, then the increment in hn is greater than the decrement in exponential minus y square by 2. Since y is equal to root alpha x, so here alpha x square is replaced by y square. So exponential minus y square by 2 h and y is equal to 0 when the power series for h and y is 0. Let power series be finite up to p equals to n. Since we obtain a p plus 2 is equal to 2p minus e by alpha plus 1 upon p plus 2 into p plus 1 ap. So if we substitute p is equal to n from here to here, then for solution of above equation 2n minus e by alpha plus 1 is equal to 0, or e by alpha is equal to 2n plus 1. Since alpha square is equal to mk by h cross square and e is equal to 2me by h cross square, so if we substitute the value of alpha and E from here to here, then we get En is equal to n plus half h cross root k by m. Since root k by m is equal to omega, so En is equal to n plus half h cross omega. Here, n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. H cross is reduced Planck's constant and omega is angular frequency of simple harmonic oscillator. If we substitute h cross is equal to h upon 2 pi and omega equals to 2 pi nu, then this equation will be En is equal to n plus half h nu. If we substitute n is equal to 0 here, then the energy in ground state will be half h cross omega, and this energy is known as 0 point energy. Now conclusion, which we carried out from energy eigenvalues. The energy of simple harmonic oscillator at ground state is not 0, but according to classical mechanics it will be 0, because according to classical mechanics En is equal to nh nu, but according to quantum mechanics it will be En is equal to n plus half h nu or En is equal to n plus half h cross omega. Since En is equal to n plus half h cross omega, now energy eigenvalues depends only on the quantum number n, because here only variable quantities n, h cross and omega are constants. The energy levels are discrete and all the levels are equi-spaced, because if we substitute n is equal to 0 here, then E0 is equal to half h cross omega. If n is equal to 1, then E1 is equal to 3 by 2 h cross omega, and if n is equal to 2, then E2 is equal to 5 by 2 h cross omega. So the difference between any two energy levels is constant, which is h cross omega. The energy difference between two consecutive energy levels is h nu or h cross omega. Now we are showing here energy levels. When n is equal to 0, then energy is half h nu or half h cross omega, which is 0 point energy. When n is equal to 1, energy will be 3 by 2 h nu or 3 by 2 h cross omega. N is equal to 2, energy will be 5 by 2 h nu. N is equal to 3, energy will be 7 by 2 h nu. And similarly, when n is equal to 4, energy will be 9 by 2 h nu. Here we end our session. So for more interesting topic like this, please like, share and subscribe our channel. So thank you very much for your kind patience.